Let's talk about G20. Its foreign ministers are meeting in Johannesburg as we speak. The theme of the event is solidarity, equality, sustainability. It's ironic because solidarity is the last thing the group is showing at this point. US Secretary of State Marko Rubio has decided to skip the event. UK has just accused Russia of having no appetite for peace. And China, it is siding with the United States. It's a geopolitical mess on display. So let's ask some questions as we always do. Has the war in Ukraine left the G20 in tatters? Are members choosing national interests over global needs? And is the divided West dividing the world at large? I'm Ananya Dutta for Hindustan Times. Time to get some answers. The G20 grouping took shape in the year 1999. It was in response to the 90s Asian financial crisis, where the major economies focused on collaborating at a global scale. But times have changed and G20's agenda has changed. It has now evolved to address a broader range of issues like trade, climate change, and global security. The G20 countries now represent 2/3 of the world's population, some 85% of global GDP, and 3/4 of all trade. This year marked the first time the members are convening on African soil. It's an opportunity to get rich nations to heed poorer countries' concerns.
It is significant that the G20 Leaders Summit later this year will be convened for the first time on African soil. This, in many ways, highlights the growing importance of the African continent in global economic, political, and environmental discussions that are ensuing around the world.
The thought was noble, but the first day of the summit made the differences clear as day. The United States, a pivotal member of the G20, chose not to attend the meeting. Secretary of State Marko Rubio decided to skip the summit, calling South Africa's policies quote-unquote anti-American. And this was the result of weeks-long tiff between the US and South Africa that led to the decision to halt all aid to the African country. Rubio made it clear by putting out this statement: "My job is to advance America's national interests, not waste taxpayers' money or coddle anti-Americanism." But this wasn't just about a no-show. This snub signaled how deep the rift is between the US and South Africa. US President Donald Trump's recent statements on the war in Ukraine were felt throughout the room. From the US ditching Europe and speaking directly to Russia, to Trump accusing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky of being a quote-unquote dictator. They all found their mentions directly or indirectly. UK's Foreign Secretary David Lammy did show up but did not hold back. He accused Russia of having no appetite for peace in Ukraine. The drama peaked when Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov boycotted Lammy's speech. Not a word, just a cold, calculated exit. Meanwhile, China did what China does best, played its own game. The US's absence is an opportunity for China, which has the world's second biggest economy, to expand its influence. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi threw a curveball by backing President Trump's solo mission to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. And this move raised eyebrows among European allies, still firmly in Ukraine's corner. The European Union's foreign policy chief was blunt. She warned that peace talks without Ukraine would not only embolden Russia, she also put out a strong message that you can't negotiate peace with a country that isn't at the table, and you definitely can't reward territorial aggression. And then, of course, there's Germany. Their foreign minister, Annalena Baerbock, was a no-show. No speech, no statement, nothing. Her reason is unclear officially, but Berlin insiders suggest that it was a quiet protest against Trump's unilateral diplomacy. With Germany absent, the US boycotting, and Russia and China playing their own games, the G20 did not look like a group of world leaders working together. It looked like a messy family feud. Major countries are busy keeping their national interests over global needs. We keep hearing how Ukraine is going to be affected by a divided West. But it's not limited to just that. It's a global problem. Today it is undermining the G20's ability to function as a united body. Tomorrow it could affect you. Remember, it took decades to build this multilateral platform place where the world's largest economies could come together to solve global challenges. But are we now going backwards? Are we heading towards a less unified world where narrow national interests override collective good? More importantly, will more G20 members move towards Russia and China-dominated BRICS, delivering a big blow to Donald Trump?